A number of airlines serve the Costa del Sol in Spain, and in particular Malaga Airport from the UK. And I'm here in Malaga, about to head back to the airport to jump on board Jet2 to Birmingham. Now, I've flown Jet2 before, so it'd be interesting to see if there's any differences on board this experience. Before we get to the aircraft, let's head into the terminal and check it out.
Welcome to Edgington Airborne. Let's get going.
As Malaga Airport is the gateway to the Costa del Sol, it handles a lot of flights in the summer months, and the check-in area is vast to cope with this. If, like me, you're flying with Jet2, you'll find their desk to the right of security, and the red branding is easy to spot. Security at Malaga can be very busy, but once you're clear and through the duty-free store, you'll find yourself in the main departures area. Now, Malaga has a good range of shops and restaurants, as you'd expect for an airport primarily catering to tourists. Do bear in mind though that there isn't much to do around the gate areas for UK flights, so personally I stick around the main departures area and enjoy what it has to offer before heading to my gate when it's time to board.
So that's Malaga Airport. I hope you enjoyed some shots of the terminal, and it is a pretty decent terminal. It obviously is designed towards the holiday makers that use it, particularly in the peak summer months, and there have been a few nice new additions since my last visit. Anyway, it's enough looking around the airport. Let's head on board the aircraft and make our way to Birmingham.
This was actually my fourth Jet2 flight in the last 12 months, and over that time I've grown quite fond of the airline, and from the comments on my previous videos, it's clear to see that many viewers are too. Jet2 for me are quite unique in the fact they can be categorised as both a low-cost airline like Ryanair and a leisure airline like TUI, and like both types of carrier, Jet2 favour the Boeing 737, which makes up the majority of their fleet. Before we look at the experience on board the 737, let's see how much it costs to book a flight-only trip with Jet2. The airline of course operates flights from Malaga to a number of UK destinations, and prices do vary depending on when you travel. For example, I paid £169 in total for this ticket during a holiday, but as you can see, cheaper dates are available. So you've booked your flight, but what can you expect on board the 737-800? Well, the cabin finish depends on the age of the plane. For example, last year I experienced one of the airline's newer jets with a modern Boeing Sky interior, but this flight was operated by a 13-year-old aircraft, which of course meant the cabin wasn't quite as striking. For comfort, air vents and reading lights are provided for all passengers, although for some reason there weren't any window blinds fitted to this particular aircraft. Thankfully, I wasn't blinded by the sun, which meant I was able to enjoy the subtle details such as the aircraft dotted around the cabin, and of course the not so subtle Jet2 branding. Toilets can be found at the front and rear of this aircraft, and while a little bit dated, they were in good condition. During booking, Jet2 allow passengers to pre-order a hot meal for their flight, or alternatively choose from the buy on board selection. There are a number of reasonably priced options to keep you going on a short flight in Europe, and as this was a lunchtime departure, I chose a couple of items. It's hard to go wrong with the cheese and ham toastie, and as a nod to my Scottish followers, I washed it down with a wonderful can of Iron Brew.
We've left Spain, we're well on our way to Birmingham now. Let's take a few minutes to take a look around the seat area to see what you could expect on board this Jet2 Boeing 737.
Like most airlines, Jet2 allow passengers to choose a seat for a fee during booking. Having tried a standard seat before, I decided to see if an extra legroom seat is worth the extra cost. The seat that I selected was the bulkhead seat at row 2, and the first thing you'll notice is the literature pocket, which is on the wall in front of you. In here you'll find your in-flight menu, the 737 safety card, Jetaway in-flight magazine, and a shopping guide, and the pouch here also gives you a little bit of room for personal belongings. Now, one thing about this row is that the tray tables are given out by the crew, and you'll see they are very small indeed. They also don't allow for any adjustment, as the table is fitted to the armrest on the side of the seat, which isn't the most practical design that I've ever seen. Of course, this seat is all about the legroom, and I did have plenty of space, but despite this, I think that I actually prefer the standard economy seats a little further back. If you haven't brought your own entertainment on board, then like me, you'll likely spend time reading the in-flight magazine. My favourite article was an interview with a married couple who are pilots for Jet2. Clearly love really is in the air. A few minutes later, after the song in my head had finished, I took a look at the Jet2 route map, which focuses mostly on European destinations, but Jet2 also offer winter flights to Iceland and New York. Maybe one day I'll try these flights myself, but I do have many airlines to experience before then, and don't forget you can keep up to date with my travels by following me on social media. One of my media accounts, of course, is on Patreon, and I'd like to thank top tier member Laurie Davies, as well as all of my followers for your continuing support of this channel.
And another flight review is now drawing to a close. Don't forget to stick around till the end of the video for my final thoughts on today's trip, but for now, enjoy the landing. So welcome to Birmingham after that flight with Jet2. Hope you've enjoyed the video so far. Of course, this is where I'll share with you my final thoughts on the trip, and we'll start off in Malaga. And I quite enjoy my time at Malaga Airport. As I said earlier on in the video, it obviously is designed for tourists, but they do it very well. There's a good selection of shops and restaurants. Nothing's too expensive really, and also the additions they've made recently were very good. Also want to briefly mention the Jet2 ground staff. Now, if you're unaware, Jet2 tend to employ a lot of their own handling agents. So you'll see a lot of Jet2 branding when you are flying with them, not only on the aircraft, but on the ground as well. And the check-in staff were fantastic today for Jet2, so big thumbs up there. Then we come to the flight itself, and it was quite comfortable. It was quite a pleasant flight overall. The cabin crew worked very hard throughout the flight, as you tend to find with low-cost or charter airlines, because they are on commission, but they were very friendly throughout the journey. And I'll also say that the food and drink selection on Jet2 was very, very good. Sadly though, I wasn't overly happy with the seat. Now, I've flown Jet2 a few times, as you may have seen from this channel, and overall I do tend to like the seat despite a few little quirks it has, but sitting on row 2, the extra legroom row, and the bulkhead exit row, it just wasn't great for me. The seat felt quite narrow, quite cramped, and the fact that there was that tiny tray table, which was absolutely useless, just made the whole experience a little bit uncomfortable for me overall. So if I do fly Jet2 again in the future, I'd probably avoid the emergency exit row or the bulkhead that we had on this particular flight today. Let me know what you think about Jet2 in the comment section below if you've flown with them before, and if you agree or disagree with anything I've said during this video, do let me know that as well. If you've enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up button, and of course if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the channel for future reviews and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And of course overall, take care.